going, Luke?
Yeah, good, mate.
Just wanted to open up. Obviously, I don't want to say you're old these days, but you are a bit more of an elder statesman, and I'd just love to hear how you're enjoying playing alongside the likes of Florent, Robot, and these types of guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay young with the boys, but yeah, look, we've got an exciting young group coming through, and playing with James Rowbottom and Ollie Florent, they just keep taking their game to another level each week, and they've really matured up this year. And yeah, the good thing is they add a new boost of energy for our group, and hopefully with the experience of myself and Josh in the midfield, we can continue to help them to grow as players.
Does it bring back some memories of your time, looking back to sort of 2011, 2012, when you're trying to break in, alongside Kennedy's, the Jacks, all these sorts of guys?
Yeah, it does. I think the thing for me to remember is just how much any bit of advice or you give them a bit of your time, how much that means to someone. I think looking back every time you'd have a moment with Joey or Kieran or Jude Bolton or one of those blokes, you really soak up that moment. I think it's my opportunity to make sure that I give that same the feedback and pass on as much knowledge as I can.
Luke, Mitch from the West here. Young Elijah's obviously had a tough week. How's the players got around him, and as a leader, how difficult has it been for you?
Oh, it's difficult. I think the club's dealing with a lot at the moment in terms of where we're playing, the whole schedule of how things are working. So they have a fair bit on their plate anyway, and obviously Elijah made a really poor decision, knowing beforehand the consequences of what would have happened. So look, as a club, he came out yesterday and he addressed the group. And we really want to put it behind us. I think that's the main thing. You've got to take his word for it, and he apologised, and we want to make sure that we move forward, and he needs to learn from this situation. He'll obviously cop his whack and whatever the suspension was, and unfortunately that's cost him his season. But at the same time, we still need him to grow as a person, and we want to give him every opportunity to have a successful AFL career. And then he's got some choices to make, but no doubt the group's going to do everything they can to support him.
Do you think he should stay here in WA now that he's suspended for the rest of the season, or continue along with the group?
Oh, I think that's up to the club, what that looks like. So we haven't really had the chat with Horse and stuff, so I'm not sure what they're thinking, but it's a tough one. We need to just move forward as a playing group and look forward to the next game.
Did you have to get around him though after the racial stuff that came up yesterday?
Yeah, that's nearly a separate thing. We spoke about obviously his decision, but then at the same time we need to address the racial side of things that came up, and it's always disgusting to see online those things rear their heads, especially from accounts that probably aren't real people, and it's very easy for people to hide behind a computer screen. But look, we checked in on him, make sure he was all right. We want to make sure that's stamped out. The club's called it out, a few players have called it out, and we're here to support him, and obviously we don't stand for that kind of behaviour.
Luke, how was he addressing the group? How did he sort of handle that?
Oh, he was obviously pretty nervous. I think it's always hard whether it doesn't matter what reason you're addressing the group for as a 18-year-old kid, 19-year-old kid. There were 60, 70 people in the room, and look, he was remorseful for what he'd done. He accepted the penalties, and look, it's hard to front the group in those situations knowing that you've made those mistakes, but at the same time, it's also a hard thing to do. So I thought it was he added a little bit of respect to at least get up in front of the group, apologise, and hopefully we can move forward.
Do you think he's got a big future, mate, in the game?
That's up to him. I think he has every opportunity to have a really big future. So that's the decisions that he has to put in place, and the decisions that he will make. No doubt he's got the talent. We've seen that in games at times, and we gave him opportunities to show that, and he can definitely handle it out there with the AFL and AFL's best. So hopefully he takes this opportunity to grow and take a leap forward in his career.
What was the response from the players to Elijah after what he said to his apology to the group yesterday, and then also when you first found out what he'd done and the circumstances behind it?
Yeah, I think the positive thing is the boys who found out actually came forward and told the club what happened. The club told the AFL, so we've been fully transparent from the players to the high up at the club, and it's always a tough thing when a mate makes a bad decision and you need to, I think, address it. But at the same time, once as we said, the main thing now is he's addressed the group. We move forward. He's still going to be around the group, and we can't have that lingering over us, especially with a young, exciting group who want to enjoy their time here. We can't have that lingering on. So he's addressed it, and we'll move forward.
Yeah, what was the response to his apology? Did any players speak up afterwards and share their views as to what happened?
Oh, I think he knew. He was really clear on the views from the players. He made a few phone calls a few days before when he was in the quarantine to the leaders and a few close mates and close players within the club. And look, as I said, we've taken it on board. You can only take it for his word, and now it's about his decision how he goes on from here.
Luke, are you able to give us a little bit of an insight into what he actually said? Obviously he apologised, but can you explain why he did it or anything like that?
Not really, mate. I think the main thing was he in front of the group, he apologised, he understood the actions, he said, I take full responsibility, and he'll cop his whack, as I said, and the thing now for him, he said he's got to make some choices and to earn the respect back from the group, and that's all we can take from it. Now it's about actions.
Hey, look, it's Luke from Channel 9 in Sydney here. We've got Elijah gone for the season now. Dane Rampy left the hub. You guys are away from home. So many injuries. How do you, as a senior player, just make sure that spirits are high and that everyone's going okay?
Oh, I don't think it's too hard to keep the spirits high. I think we've got a really exciting group who, look, they're trying to enjoy being away from home. Not too many of them have partners or kids back home. So the good thing is they're around everyone 24/7. They've got a games room they're treating like a kindergarten. So, look, for me, I'm the one who needs a bit of time apart from them at the moment. There's a fair bit of yelling and screaming going on in that one room. So you can only handle so much. But look, I think that the hard thing is we've lost, obviously, Ramsey's gone back to Sydney. It's a key leader of this club and has been playing some incredible football. But as we always say, it's another opportunity for blokes like Malikan and Alir and Robbie Fox and blokes like that down back to really step up and take their game to another level. And I think that they're looking forward to that challenge, and hopefully we can get a few more wins on the board and keep the morale high.
Luke, without Ramps, you've got to try and find a defender. Probably he might have gone to Nat Fyfe, who's gone a bit more forward lately. Who looks like they're going to get that job?
I'm not too sure at the moment. It's probably Millsy's probably the next general down there, and it's probably a really good matchup for Fyfe. So whether he goes to him or Robbie Fox, who's really athletic, strong, look, he's always going to be a hard matchup, Fyfe, but I think it won't just be a one-on-one matchup. It'll be the boys trying to limit his influence together. They work really well as a unit last week and really got their structures in shape well, so we look forward to that matchup.
You guys play so well at Optus Stadium, and you seem to enjoy the space, and it's also a battle of the young guns. You know, you guys are quite young, Fremantle are quite young. Are you excited for that game? Considering 7 days ago we sort of forget all this stuff that you had a great win against GWS.
Yeah, I think the boys really embracing the Oval. It's an incredible stadium, and look, it's a fast deck, and it is nearly a battle of the young midfield. So not including myself. So. But look, they'll rise to that challenge, and they're playing some really exciting football. They're playing high pressure, quick football, and we're trying to emulate that. So we'll put our best foot forward and make sure that we've got our shape right, and it's a really good team attack on the whole game.
Hey Luke, sorry, just one more on Elijah. John mentioned a couple of days ago that there might possibly be more sanctions from the club. Do you know, has that sort of been decided? And I suppose if not, is that partly because of what he said, and has he sort of volunteered to do something to kind of win back the trust of everyone?
I haven't heard anything about anything further with that situation. All we had last night was his apology. He had dinner with us last night, and I haven't heard anything since.
And just as a leader, has this been like your most challenging week ever? I suppose managing the highs of that win, the lows that have followed. You know, supporting Elijah and punishing him, and I suppose doing it all when Dane's just gone home, and Josh is obviously injured at the moment.
I wouldn't say. Look, it's just a part of what we do, and look, we're coming off a really good win. You're able to enjoy the week more, and obviously there's some poor things to come out early this week. We've had to deal with, but in saying that, the boys are still confident that we go out and train. We're training for a purpose, and we're playing for a purpose. So look, there's a few little things we've had to deal with, and injuries that are pretty annoying to our key players. But hopefully we can get someone like Josh Kennedy back soon, which will add some more a boost into the midfield and a lot more leadership, which will be fantastic.